from WSAV, the station that's on your side. You're watching News 3 Today.
And a very good morning to you. I'm Ben Katko. Kim Gusby's off this morning. Thanks for joining us here on News 3 Today. A beautiful day. It's really shaping up to be here in the Coastal Empire and Low Country. Here's a look outside from our Dozier Law Cam. That sunshine on the river and River Street. That's a good looking shot, Kyle Dennis.
It certainly looks beautiful. It just doesn't feel quite as beautiful as it looks. It's going to be a nice afternoon with sunshine. It's just cool, and it is going to be windy. 52 in Savannah, 48 Richmond Hill, 50 Rincon, still in the 40s for Metter and Glenville. So it is certainly a chilly start. Believe it or not, tonight will be even colder than it was this morning. 52 at noontime with sunshine, 3 o'clock around 58, 55 at 6. Notice that west-northwest wind upwards of 20 miles per hour. That's the sustained wind. You throw in the gusts, it could be as high as 30. Yes, it gets even colder tonight. A freeze watch in effect from 4 in the morning until 9 o'clock on your Thursday, and it's for areas generally west of I-95. So this is the kind of night where you want to keep tender vegetation protected, bring the potted plants inside, and the pets as well. But we'll have more on that. Of course, a look ahead to St. Patrick's Day coming up.
That's the all-important day this week.
That's the only forecast that matters right now, right?
Nothing else matters.
Exactly.
Kyle Dennis, thank you very much. Happening today, students across the country took part in a walkout not long ago to commemorate the 1-month anniversary of the Parkland, Florida mass shooting. You are seeing video of walkouts from Georgia, New York, and Parkland. Students are encouraging others to leave class for 17 minutes. That's 1 minute for each life lost in Parkland. That was at 10 o'clock this morning. It's also an outcry for stronger gun regulations.
As we move forward, it's important that we push politicians. You know, we're 18, we're able to vote, and we'll have other people there at the rally today who will be able to vote, and we need to, let politicians know that we care about this and it's important.
You're going to vote these midterm elections?
I am most certainly going to be voting, and I'll be registering today because we have a registration booth set up today.
This morning live at Bluffton High School, where students walked out there this morning. Andrew, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Ben. It all started with that terrible tragedy in Parkland and then a writing on a bathroom wall by one young lady here at Bluffton High. But today, Amy Huey was far from alone as dozens and dozens of students came out to have their voices heard. It started early with the chants that you could hear from the gathered crowd, and then more students started to come out after 9:45, closer to 10, and when that 10 o'clock arrived, more and more students came out of the building to join in on this protest. They say it was important for them to be together, to learn about gun control, to make a difference here, to not be afraid to go to school, but mostly to have their voices heard and know that legislators need to be listening.
I felt stronger than I have, being able to prove something that some others might not agree with, but being able to show that I'm standing for what I believe is right.
Governments are worried about them and their agenda, but they're not worried about what's the future to come, and if we're not going to protect our students in schools, then we don't have a future.
A total of 76 students walked out of Bluffton High today, and then at 10:17, just as ordered, they walked right back in. We're not sure about any in-school suspensions, but everybody from the school system says this went smoothly, as smooth as could be expected, and they're happy with what exactly happened. Andrew Davis, WSAV News 3.
Andrew Davis in the Low Country, thank you. In other news, opening statements are set to begin today in the federal terrorism trial of Noor Salman in Orlando. Salman is the wife of Omar Mateen, who killed 49 people at the Pulse nightclub 2 years ago. She's pleading not guilty to charges that she provided support to a foreign terrorist organization and misled law enforcement agents. They believe she could have tipped off authorities to prevent the mass shooting. Salman could face life in prison if convicted on the terror charge. The city of Savannah will host Vice President Mike Pence and his family this weekend for the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Pence will join Savannah Mayor Eddie DeLoach in welcoming parade participants and attendees. DeLoach says he is excited to showcase the hostess city of the South and the best St. Patrick's Day Parade in the world. The spokesman for the city of Savannah says the city is also excited to have the national spotlight on an event so special to our area.
We have been working very closely with White House staff, along with the Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee, Savannah Police, and other local, state, and federal law enforcement partners to arrange this visit.
The city will work closely with the St. Patrick's Day Committee to accommodate the Vice President during the parade on Saturday. Of course, a visit from the Vice President means extra security, which could also impact where you watch the parade. Here's a look at last year's land grab, a big Savannah tradition. People are up before the sun, ready to grab the perfect spot along one of the squares downtown. There are reports that some of that prime watching space may be off limits this year. News 3 is trying to get all of that information for you so you can plan in advance. Stay with us. We will, of course, keep you posted. The big parade again is Saturday. It steps off at 10:15 in the morning. 36 blocks of downtown Savannah will become the control and entertainment zone. Keep in mind, you do need a wristband to drink in that area. We're on your side with information about those wristbands, how much they cost, parking spots, shuttles, and much more. Go to WSAV.com. Click on the St. Patrick's Day tab that you will find at the top of our homepage. In a News 3 crime and safety report this morning, one of the biggest issues over the St. Patrick's Day holiday is drinking and driving. Port Wentworth police want to make sure anyone drunk driving knows that their luck is about to run out. For the past 9 years, they've cracked down on DUIs, drugs, and traffic issues during the St. Patrick's Day festivities during Operation Lucky Charms. In the past 2 years, 225 people have been arrested, 76 for DUI.
Even getting it out in social media, people seeing us out there, it helps limit people, give people the opportunity to take a second chance, a second thought at driving under the influence or committing some kind of traffic violation that's going to put themselves, others, and even us and our families in any kind of danger.
Police will be out tomorrow through Sunday with checkpoints throughout the city. More than 1,200 citations were handed out by officers in 2017 and 2016. AAA's Tow-to-Go service is back for the holiday weekend. Tow-to-Go is a free ride for you and a tow for your car anywhere within 10 miles. You do not need to be a AAA member to use it. Tow-to-Go runs Friday through Sunday morning at 6. If you need a ride, here's the number, 855-2TOW-2GO. In South Carolina, lawmakers want to make it hard for drunk drivers to get back behind the wheel. Right now, only drivers convicted of drunk driving or having an extremely high blood alcohol level multiple times have to use an ignition interlock device in their car before getting their license back. But now, lawmakers are considering requiring anyone convicted to use that device.
We know that ignition interlock devices in this country have now prevented almost 2 million drunk driving trips. So that is a real impact. Just obviously every time someone drives drunk, there's a chance something terrible can happen.
Ignition interlock systems require the driver to take a breathalyzer test before they can start the car. It also comes with a camera to see who's taking that test in case someone tries to cheat the system. From our Georgia Southern Statesboro newsroom this morning, thieves are targeting cars for a quick buck. Statesboro police don't want you to become the next victim. The problem here is unlocked cars. Between 2016 and 2017, more than 500 cars were broken into and 400 of them were unlocked. 71 of those cars had guns that were stolen. Police are reaching out to the community, reminding everyone to do their part to protect their valuables.
And really what we need to do is just have people pay attention to the basics. If you have locks, use them. If you have valuables, lock them up separately. If you have a firearm in your car, there are a lot of ways to keep it secured inside the car.
Statesboro police do plan to start a Twitter campaign to remind people to lock their cars. That is similar to the city of Savannah's nightly lockup program. New this morning, a hotel murder suspect made his first appearance in court. Take a look. New this morning, that is Tyree Crocker, who stood before a magistrate after being brought from South Carolina yesterday. Crocker is a suspect in the murder of Jeffrey Raymond, who was shot at the Baymont Hotel on Friday. He will go before a grand jury in May. A 57-year-old Florida man was arrested at his home by a SWAT team Tuesday morning. Bruce William Joseph worked as a volunteer at Calvary Christian High School, where he first met the victim in this particular case. The victim admits she had a sexual relationship with Joseph after she turned 18. But when she tried to break it off, the victim claims Joseph set up numerous fake online accounts and sent out her nude photos.
He told her there'd be consequences if she didn't come back and have sex with him. And he showed us what his consequences were.
The victim's family hired a private investigator who tracked down how the fake online accounts were ultimately set up. In news around South Carolina this morning, the Department of Transportation held a ceremony for 2 employees who died on the job. The ceremony was held in honor of Tony Redmond and Bob Clark, who both died last year while inspecting a shoulder washout. Family and friends, along with staff, attended the event where a building was named in their honor. A pursuit in South Carolina ended with a K-9 takedown. K-9 officer Sarge and a fellow officer spotted what looked to be an impaired driver Monday night in Greenville. When they tried to stop the vehicle, the driver, 18-year-old Joshua Tyler, did not respond. He eventually drifted and crashed into another car. That's when he and his passenger tried to run. Tyler was eventually stopped by Sarge. Police found guns, bullets, and several drugs in that vehicle. In continuing coverage this morning, community members are taking another step toward incorporating the islands here in Chatham County. At a meeting last night, if successful, the islands could surpass Pooler in becoming the second largest city in Chatham County. Residents of the 4 islands you see here on your screen have raised more than $22,000 for a feasibility study that would determine whether they could actually become their own entity. All of the money has been raised through donations and fundraisers. News 3 had a chance to catch up with the chairman and ask what the next steps are if they hit their $30,000 goal.
We will form committees to study the different aspects of what we will have to do. When the study's done, we take our figures and compare them with their figures, and then we say, okay, we could maybe be a city and we could maybe support ourselves.
The residents have until the end of April to raise the rest of that money. If they do, the study is expected to be done in 6 months. The next meeting will happen April 3rd. In a health report for you this morning, new research reveals the recent economic recession took a toll on the health of many Americans. A new UCLA study tracked 46,000 adults through the late 2000s. It showed blood pressure and glucose levels rose during the recession, especially among older homeowners and people still in the workforce. $95,000 seems to be the perfect salary for personal satisfaction. That's according to a survey of nearly 2 million people. They found that individuals making this amount each year are best able to balance their work and personal lives. The study also suggests earning $60,000 to $75,000 lends to emotional well-being. ER visits for children with allergies are on the rise, according to a new Blue Cross Blue Shield Association study. It showed ER visits for anaphylaxis spiked 150% from 2010 through 2016. Nearly half of these severe reactions were from food, especially peanuts, tree nuts, and seeds. Experts say parents are recognizing symptoms of an allergic reaction and coming to the ER a lot quicker. After the break, 2 communities are feeling the effects of fires that broke out over the weekend. Up next, hear their stories and find out how you can help victims of those fires move their lives forward. You're watching WSAV News 3 today.